webinar is how to write effective product descriptions that convert. And here at the SBDC, we exist to train, educate, and support entrepreneurs of both new, pre-venture, and established small businesses. We're positioned within the nationwide network of SBDCs. We offer resources, key connections at the state and national level, workshops such as this one, and online and in-person support that equips us to help Ocean State entrepreneurs reach the next level of growth. I take this opportunity every chance I get just to brag a little bit about the incredible team we have here. We have so many talented counselors here that are here to help you along every step of your entrepreneurial journey. So please take advantage and reach out to Elena, and she can connect you with the appropriate counselor. So today we will cover how to write compelling, persuasive product descriptions to grow your sales. And you could be asking yourself, why does it even matter? Optimizing your product description is one of the lowest investment improvements, meaning it's not going to cost you a ton of financial investment, but it is going to cost you some time to go through your products, but it has one of the highest returns. Product descriptions are a key part of your potential customer's decision-making process. It is the final touch before sales. So all the work you do to get somebody to your website to make the purchase, this is the final touch. You want to make sure that you're giving them all you have. Here are just two stats. 50% of shoppers have returned a product because it didn't match the product description. How many of you out there have gotten something that you've ordered online and it is not at all what you expected? So if you could minimize the number of returns, that also helps grow your bottom line. And 87% of consumers rate their product content extremely important when deciding to buy. So think about how you purchase online and how you compare similar products. 87% of people say that the product description is one of the determining factors in making a purchase. Can you all still see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. E-commerce growth trends. I just wanted to talk a little bit about what the e-commerce industry is doing right now. We saw COVID accelerate business owners' need to transition to online. There were a lot of people scrambling to pivot their business model to be able to sell online. We're going to continue to see that growth over the next couple of years. We're right now expected to hit just under $5 trillion in online sales globally. And within the next 2 years, we're going to see that jump to $6.5 trillion globally. So say goodbye to cookie cutter product descriptions. If you're writing your product descriptions just as basic descriptions of your products, you're doing it all wrong. And why is that? Because product descriptions are an essential tool to augment your product by selling your products to real people. This not just, off of the back cookie cutter box descriptions that you put together just to satisfy the search engines or SEO. While it's important each page is optimized for SEO, you cannot write product descriptions for just SEO. You have to write product descriptions to speak to real people, to have a communication as to why they should purchase your products. There are 3 key elements to your product descriptions. One is to qualify. They help your website visitors quickly assess, is this for me? Is this the right fit? Is this what I'm looking for? This is your opportunity to use your product descriptions like a 24-hour sales assistant. So your product description should be written as if you're having a conversation with someone and you're telling them about your key benefits of your product. They're also to persuade your customers. These are compelling customer-centered reasons for somebody to consider your product. And I highlighted customer-centered because whenever you're making a business decision, I always want you to think about how this affects your customer and how can you give them the best experience possible. Product descriptions are no different. You want to speak directly to why they need your product. And then finally is SEO. You want to use your keywords and search terms in a natural way. You don't want a keyword stack or repeat your keyword over and over again just to be able to satisfy the search engines. Actually, Google has gotten very smart and is able to pick this up. And if you're just keyword stacking, you're actually going to hurt your rankings. So I'm going to take a quick break to see if there's any questions.
We don't have any in the chat, but if anyone wants to speak up, you can now.
All right, awesome. So 5 steps to stand out with your product descriptions. Step number 1 is to focus on your ideal customer. We always want to be customer centric because at the end of the day, we're here to serve them. You want to write your product descriptions to speak directly to your target audience. And the keyword there is your target audience. You don't want to write general descriptions that could satisfy any old person that came to your page. You want to speak directly to your ideal customer, and you want to speak to them personally. Ask yourself every single question that they could potentially have about your product and answer it in a conversational way. You also want to write your descriptions in a way that is the same tone of voice as your ideal client. If your target audience is more playful and laid back versus very strict and analytical, the product descriptions are going to be very different. You want to think about what pain points can you address in your products with you as a solution. What are their interests and fears, and what do they value? Here are 2 examples. The one on the left is from Wet n Wild for their liquid lipstick. And their description is very casual and playful. Their opening sentence is, "What glides on like butter feels like second skin and won't budge." That is very laid back and playful language. And then on the right, we have the all-clad example where they have our best-selling tri-ply cookware enhanced with contoured handles, drip-free pouring rims, and interchangeable lids. They're addressing a few issues right off the bat. They're talking about their contoured handles for ease of use and for comfort. They're talking about drip-free pouring, which is going to be what somebody who does a lot of cooking is going to look for, and the interchangeable lids. People are always concerned with space, and are they going to have new space? So they do a great job at being upfront with their description and speaking directly to their ideal customer. You want to highlight the key benefits. Buyers want more than specs and mundane features. Like, sure, they care about specs, sure, they care about core features, but they want to know if your product solves their problem and why they should choose you over a competitor. What's the benefit of each of your features? You're selling an experience, not just a product. Here's an example for a post-cleanse tonic. The opening line, "You might be more concerned about dark spots than wrinkles." They're addressing right up front that this isn't going to be for anti-aging properties. This is going to be for dark spots. And then in their bullets, they do a nice job about talking about some of the key benefits that somebody would look for when using this product. So the first bullet is talking about having a beautiful, even skin tone. The second one is talking about removing impurities and fading dark spots. And the third one is talking about having a more even toned, brighter and glowing complexion. So they're talking about the benefits of using their products, not just what the product does. So while they do point out that they have their lactic acid and their vitamin C, they're also focusing on the benefits of those ingredients instead of just listing off their key ingredients. Number 3, if you have data, be sure to use it. This is really your chance to brag. And if you have bold claims that your product is the best, make sure you have something to back it up. And now, while you might not have scientific data, you can also use customer reviews and customer feedback. So if you are constantly getting told that your lotion is the best lotion they've ever tried, be sure to include that on your product description. Here's an example from a skincare line that has clean foundation, and they listed all of their awards that they've gotten in the past 2 years. Number 4, additional motivation. Think of all the reasons your customer might be on the fence, and then you want to address them head on. You want to think of every reservation or every reason why that could be a barrier to purchase. Examples are, will it fit? Will this shade or color match my skin tone? Will it tarnish? How long will it last? Does this product support a charity or a movement? A lot of people are looking for socially conscious products. If you have that, make sure you outline it. Is it easy to use? An example here is from the nail polish. They have a little try it on feature where you could try on the color and find your match before you make a purchase. This is allowing you to try before you buy. This reduces your risk of returns. It reduces your risk of negative reviews. Great images. As much as your description is important, so are the images that you attach with them. You want to include as much as possible. You want to have different angles, different uses of your product if your product has multiple uses. If you also want to include, if you have makeup, skincare, clothing, shoes, any of those types of products, you want to make sure that you include models from diverse backgrounds. And don't forget to optimize your images for SEO. Here's a couple of examples. On the left, we have Bergeux shoes. These are custom shoes that can be worn for dancing as well as just every streetwear. And they're made by a shoe designer who was also a professional dancer. And she offers her shoes from multiple different angles so you could see what they look like. On the right, we have an engagement ring, and they very cleverly put in a pencil and eraser so you could understand size. So you're able to say and understand what this ring would look like in terms of size. Another example is Fashion Nova, an affordable clothing line. They offer all of their clothing with different models and body types, so you could see what a product would look like on you. And then the last example is Rihanna's Fenty Beauty. For all of her lipsticks and makeup, she shows a wide range of shades and what that color looks like on different skin tones. Some pro tips for product descriptions. Actually, let me take a pause and see if there's any questions.
Anyone have anything? Oh, we got one. What is SEO for images?
So when you upload your images on your website, they will, when you upload it, there's going to be a little area for you to enter in your all image description. And you want to be sure that you're optimizing those for your keywords. So for example, if you sell, the example I used there, if you sell lipstick, you want to make sure when you're uploading your image, it doesn't say like image 4567A, it says image red liquid lipstick. Does that make sense?
Thank you. They said, oh, I never thought of that as SEO, just most search word connected to what you are selling.
Yeah, so every page on your website should have a keyword focus, and your whole website doesn't have to have a singular keyword focus. If you sell multiple products, you're going to have multiple keywords. And I will talk about it very quickly in another slide, but you want to use every opportunity to optimize for SEO. That includes how you name your images when you upload them to your site. Great question. Pro tips. You want to make it fast. There is absolutely no reason to have a very lengthy description unless you need it. So there are some technical products that you're probably going to need a whole lot more description For example, like if you sell like cameras for wedding photography, or if I saw some very lengthy descriptions for camping tents when I was looking for a tent to go camping. If you have something that requires a longer description and you have to outline your benefits, do so. But otherwise, if you're talking just to talk, you can sum it up and cut back. You want to provide an enticing description, include a couple of bullets, and finish up with the selling point. It doesn't have to be, when we talk about optimizing product descriptions and making them compelling, you don't have to, that doesn't equate being very long or lengthy. It equates, having your benefit, selling them on why they need it or why it would work for them, and making it as easy as possible. Because if you think about how we shop online, we're not spending 20 minutes reading a page. Usually we're scanning to see if it meets our needs, and then we decide if we're going to invest more time. So an example here is on the top, they have quick details, one stroke intensity, long wear matte finish, unrivaled precision wand. That is an overall highlight of what the product is. This is for Rihanna's Fenty lipstick. They have a synopsis to give it to me quick. This is also sometimes the too long didn't read, if you see that like summarized in articles. And they briefly describe their product, weightless longwear lipstick with a soft matte finish in a range of head turning shades that look incredible on all skin tones. Right there, she's highlighting the all skin tones. So right away, if you're looking, so would this color look good on me? She's answering it right away. And then she reinforces it in the bullets. In the first one, 9 head turning high impact shades that look incredible on anyone. So she's really going in on the idea that her products are for everyone. And then she has a couple more bullets. And then she ends with a selling point of being 100% cruelty free. And if somebody's looking for a cruelty free makeup, that is going to jump out at them, and they're going to be like, okay, this will look great on me, but does it also meet that other criteria? SEO is not an afterthought. You should be thinking about SEO on every single page of your website. And when I say every single page, I mean every single page. This is your product descriptions. You want to start with a keyword for your product and build from there. The more specific, the easier it is to rank for. For example, if you're trying to rank for face serum, it's going to be much harder to rank in the search engines if you were to get super specific in a skin brightening face serum. And if you're not sure what products are most searched for, when you go into Google and you start to type in what you're looking for, they will rank all of the most searched items. As soon as you start typing in, they're going to tell you what people are looking for. So if you need some ideas. Number 3, spell check. Spelling mistakes happen. Triple check everything, and that includes your social media ads as well. These are the 8 most commonly misspelled words in the English language. Accommodate, separate, definitely, maintenance, recommend, your versus your, affect versus effect, and there versus there. There's free tools out there. One of the most popular ones is Grammarly. If you're not sure what I'm not a grammar queen. So before you upload anything, just run it through a tool. Or if you use Google or Microsoft, most of them will have the squiggly lines under a misspelled word. Outsource. If this is completely overwhelming and it's just too much for you to do, there are 2 options. One, you can just optimize by your most visited pages. So if you have Google Analytics set up, you can go through and see which pages get the most traffic and start optimizing them based on the most traffic and work your way down to the least traffic. Or you can outsource it to somebody. And this is particularly helpful if English isn't your first language. You might want to hire someone so your product descriptions read more fluently. Finding great writer takes patience. So if you're using a site, one of my favorite ones is Fiverr. So just make sure you read all the reviews, look at the type of work they've done in the past, and then decide if it's worth, and maybe start with 1 or 2. And if you like their work, then go back and add to the plate. And number 5, Add a FAQ. If you have a product that needs more details and they're not going to be able to get everything on every single page, consider adding an FAQ page. And that way it can answer all of the questions before they have them. One of the biggest ones is going to be the exchanges and returns, how fast it's going to take for your product to ship. In an era where everybody's used to getting their stuff in 2 days, thanks to Amazon, everybody wants to know how long it's going to take them to get their product. And then if you have something with products and fit, or if you have something that requires like additional measuring, you want to have a FAQ there on how to best measure. Any questions before we head into the conclusion?
We have none so far, Amanda. Thank you.
Awesome. So in conclusion, having effective and persuasive product images will boost sales on your site. You want to give your ideal customer as much information as they need to make a well-informed decision. This will help not only boost conversions, but it will also reduce returns. And you want to make sure that you're using your product description to speak to your customer the way a salesperson would. It's your final step. It's your final touch point before that conversion process begins. You want to make sure your product description reflects your brand and your target audience. This is an opportunity to bridge the gap between who your brand is and who your customers are. It's like this beautiful bridge, like a friendship bridge where we're on one side and they're on the other, and we want to have them cross over to the purchase land. You do that with your words and your images. And then you will also have the opportunity to rank higher in search engines. There's a cyclical nature of SEO. It's the more people who come to your site, the more rankings you get, the more visitors, the more sales, which signals to Google you're a legit website and a legit business, and that'll help you rank higher and it'll help you to get more traffic and it'll help you to get more sales. So it really is a cycle. And unfortunately, we all have to run on the Google hamster wheel. Here are a few of the resources I used to pull this together. All of these are linkable, so feel free to dig in deeper on any of these topics. And I'm going to close out with